not at all whatsoever. I ain't got time for that. Welcome to Daycare Chronicles 101, and I am your host, Miss Tonya. Today's podcast, let's just talk about daycare. Let's just talk about the things that providers go through on a daily basis, the relationships that we have with our clients, our parents, and how wouldn't we even be able to have a daycare if it wasn't for the parents, our clients. No one told me when I got licensed for daycare that there would be things that I needed to do, things that I needed to know as far as the parents and the clients and your contracts and things go. Licensing just gives you a license. The referral agencies just give you a contract. Nobody tells you about the day-to-day. No one tells you, how to interact with your clients, how to, be firm and stand strong on your rules and your regulations. No one tells you basically what your rules and regulations should be. All of that was OJT for Miss Tonya. I'm just going to keep it 100. No one prepared me for the day-to-day. And let me say this, I have been doing daycare for a very long time. Therefore, I love what I do. I do. However, in order to be able to have a facility that runs very well, there has to be rules and regulations in place. You cannot just have your daycare open and you have no rules and regulations. Children running wild and crazy. Assistants not knowing what they're doing. They yelling and screaming at the children like they're their relatives when they're not. There has to be some safety precautions in place. And licensing goes over just the basics, just to get you licensed. However, if there's a complaint or an issue, they come out like they the damn FBI, CIA. And they do not have your back. That's been my experience as a provider. So I learned early on that you must CYOA, cover your own you know what, okay? And so I try to share the knowledge and the information that I have now because it's needed. Providers need to know these things. The up and coming providers, you need to know what really happens in daycare. It's not all peaches and cream. It's just not. However, it is to me one of the most rewarding professions ever. To be able to rear children, to see them grow and develop under your tutelage, it's just a blessing. It truly, truly is that someone trusts you enough and knows that you're going to take excellent care of their children on a daily basis, instill in them good values, good morals, to prepare them to go on in life. We are setting that foundation. And unfortunately, a lot of parents have to go to work early. So some babies come in at 6 weeks old. There's a provider that's on Instagram, she's like, oh, she's in Canada. I wish, the United States was different, and allowed you to stay off a year, like Canada does. Well, so do we. We wish that too. But that is not the case over here. And so we have to do what we have to do. So I am big on switching things up for the children. Nothing has to be the same every day. And as a provider, you set up your days, you know how you want it to go. And then you have a child that may come in that's not feeling well, or a child that may be tired, or a child that may be grumpy. And that just throws your whole day off. COVID has taught me just to take it easy. COVID has taught me to just not stress about certain things. As long as the children are safe, they are loved, they're in a loving, nurturing environment, and there are things for them to do in that environment that are age appropriate, and you may not be able to get to what you really want to do, don't stress about it. The main thing is safety. That's the main thing. As daycare providers, we do so much. Most of us run our daycares like it is a preschool. And that is amazing because we don't have to. We go above and beyond because that's just who we are. We want to see our children just get the best. We want to give them that foundation. Before they go to kindergarten, we want them to know all the basics, their colors, their numbers, their shapes, how to count to 100, how to write their name. Some children are even reading. Some children are doing sight words. Like I'm sitting in my daycare room now, which is my studio for now. And I'm looking around and I just see all of the learning materials that I have acquired over the years. And it's just like, wow, this is like a little Head Start classroom, a kindergarten classroom, like for real. And most of our homes are like that because we take pride in what we do. We love what we do. And I have a saying that the minute a child gets bored, that's when the issues start. If you keep a child engaged, if you keep a child in an environment that is enriched with what they need to grow and develop, then you don't have that many issues. You really don't. Because they're so busy doing things, they don't have time to think about doing what they're not supposed to be doing. Being a provider is just an honor. It's a blessing, and I don't take it lightly. And I know those of us that care for children, we don't take it lightly either, okay? The other providers, we don't. We understand that we are dealing with a parent's most prized possession. And I mean that in the best of manner. Their child, their children. And so we want the parents to be happy. We want the children to be happy. We want to be happy. We want for our daycare to be that go-to daycare. When someone goes on Google or someone goes on Yelp or someone asks a friend, I want them to say, hey, Miss Tonya, Little Critters, Family Daycare, Daycare Chronicles 101. Oh yeah, right there. Oh yeah, she's the best. That's what I want people to say about me. And I know that's what you want people to say about you. You want to be that go-to. And that's a beautiful thing to have that reputation in your community. You know, we do so much, and COVID has changed so much of what we do in our family daycare homes. Someone posted this question on TikTok, because I'm on TikTok, talking about daycare. Okay? Yes, daycare. So they posted the question, why is it called family? You're not their family. Well, let me say this. For some, we do become family. However, it's called family because you're in someone's home. It's a family home. It's not a center. That's why it's called family daycare. And so when you come in, we're treating you like family. You know, we're loving your children like they're our family. However, we keep in mind that they are your children and this is a business. Absolutely a business. And I tell providers all the time, be mindful and be careful. Let one thing happen to a parent's child and you will see how quick they're not your friend. Be mindful. Stay focused. Keep it professional. Try not to cross boundaries. There are some that are just going to love you to death and you're going to love them and, you know, you'll keep in contact and all of that. However, even with them, this is still a business. I keep my grandchildren. It's still a business. I don't want anything to happen to them like I don't want anything to happen to anyone else. You understand? And so we can't get too lax and too comfortable when it comes to this because we are caring for someone else's child. With staff, staff is one of those things that Miss Tonya struggles with. And I'm just going to be real about it. Because my standards are so high because of how I am. And so I want my staff to understand listen to this word, the liability that we deal with every day. There's no room for major accidents. There's no room for negligence. There's no room for laziness. There's no room for you being on your phone while you're supposed to be watching the children. You know, these are issues that I've had with assistants. And so if you're supposed to be watching the children and it's nap time, then that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be on your phone. You're not supposed to be going to sleep with them. You're supposed to watch them. Get up, walk around, make sure everybody's breathing okay, make sure the blanket's not over the face, make sure they're not tangled up. These are things that may seem simple, but they're major because a child can smother, a child may get sick while they're asleep, see if a child is getting sick while they're asleep, if they're like vomiting or whatnot, you need to be able to hear and see that. You need to be able to help that child. You need to be able to say, hey, Miss Tonya, I need your help. I need your help, something. But if you sleep and they sleep, well, what the heck? Oh, experiences. So as providers, we go through so much. We're fixing meals. We're, doing curriculum. We're setting up, for our daily activities or what we're going to do for the week. We're at the grocery store. We're buying things on the weekends to make sure we have what we need for the week. We have our own families. It's a whole lot, and daycare can consume you. And that's where you have to sometimes say, you know what, today? It's Saturday. It's just going to be about me and my family. I'll deal with daycare tomorrow. Or you set up your spa appointments, or when you want to go get your nails, your mani and your pedi, or you want to go get your hair done, or you need a facial. You have to make time for yourself, or you just need to go to the beach. Like, I'm in California. There are mornings when I get up, I'd be like, you know what? On the weekend, I'm going to the beach. My husband's like, hey, I'm going to come with you. No. I'm going to go by myself because I just need some self-care time just to myself. I need to go smell the ocean. I need to go see the ocean. And, the last time I was there were a pod of dolphins. And it was just a beautiful sight to see. Just to see nature, just to get out. Sometimes we need that, Also, when it comes to daycare, we spend so much time as providers just preparing, so that our days go smooth. And for those of you that are doing this, I applaud you. I thank you, because we're not babysitters. This is quality daycare, quality childcare that we are providing. And we are rearing the future adults of this world. That's what we're doing. And what we do is very, very important. We are essential. We're not babysitters. You have some clients who think, oh, well, you just sit around and watch TV all day. No, we don't. Most of us, if we do use the TV, we barely turn it on because that's not what we do at all. I may use it during transition times if we're doing a potty run or whatnot. And so I may turn on something for them then, something educational then. YouTube is a good source. Absolutely. Right now I'm doing meditation with the children. And so there's a book called ABC Mindful Me by Christian Engel, Engel. And there's also the book that's on YouTube. So when I read the book to the children, they've already seen it on the YouTube channel, and we're doing meditation, and it's just wonderful. It is the cutest little book, the ABCs from A to Z. It is absolutely adorable. You should pick it up. I ordered it on Amazon, of course, Amazon, and the children love it, and I love it. So we're doing meditation in the morning. YouTube has meditation Movely, Moovlee. It's a little monkey. That's one of them that I use. And he's actually sitting there quiet with his legs folded. The music is going. So I use it when the children maybe need to calm down. And we do it in the morning before we start our morning lesson and all of that once the children get here, just to get our day started. And also, in addition to the meditation, every morning, there's a YouTube channel called Sands Academy, SANDZ Academy. I do their affirmations, their morning affirmations, and they are amazing. Oh my goodness, so amazing. Go check it out. It's on YouTube. As well as Daycare Chronicles 101 is on YouTube as well. I have a YouTube channel, so check it out and subscribe as well. This month on Netflix, they have a a show called Bookmarks. So being that it's Black History Month, that, they say, we are celebrating it. And so they have Black authors who have written books, and they're reading the books. And there's some actors and, and people in the entertainment industry, they're reading the books. When I tell you that there's a book called Sulwe, Sulwe. I ordered this off of Amazon too. It is absolutely beautiful. However, Lupita, I'm not even going to try to say her last name, Nyongo, Nyongo, I think that's it. Lupita, with her beautiful self, this is her book. She read the story, took my breath away. I went right on Amazon and ordered the book. The book is about a little girl who was just insecure about her color. And you just have to get the book. However, go on Bookmarks on Netflix. They have a series, like I said, and there's about maybe 10 books there or whatnot. You have Tiffany Haddish is on there. She's reading. Jill Scott is reading. Our baby Marseille, she's on there as well. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful series. So go check it out. It's on Netflix. I'm not sure if it's just for this month. I hope not, because it is a wonderful series. And my daycare children and I have sat there and just watched the authors read their books. Lupita took my breath away. Let me tell you, it was so good that I just went on Amazon as the show was on. I went on there and I ordered the book because I was just, it was just so good. We're coming up on spring. So I want everyone to know that this is my favorite time. Spring and summer, because I love being outside. I'm in California, so I'm outside all the time anyway, but I just love water play. The children do too. Step 2, the company Step 2, you all know who Step 2 is, has the best, to me, water play toys, and they last. They have, one of their toys is called the waterfall. I have a few of them. They're so much fun. There's science that's involved in it. They can put the objects in there different ways to make the water flow differently. It's double-sided. And now they give you enough of the attachments to go on both sides. So it's really, really nice. Step 2 is just they have beautiful water and sand tables. Spring is just so much fun. Summer is so much fun with the children. You know, you get science, you get sensory out of that. There's so much learning that goes with the water play. And yet they're outside. It's just a wonderful thing for them. And I noticed that when they're out there and they're playing with the water, or you have the bubbles going, get you a bubble machine. If you don't have one, get you a bubble machine. Go on Amazon, order you some bubbles in a bubble machine. And they're just so calm. And they're just having a good time. Step 2 also has a mini sand table, but I put water in it. And you can put sand in it as well. And I put the little boats in there. I go and I buy little boats, go to Home Goods, which is one of my favorite places, Home Goods, and get the little bathtub toys or whatever. And you put them in there and they're floating. The boats are floating and the children are just having fun with that. It's just relaxing to them. Step 2 has some really nice things. And you don't have to get everything at once. You can buy maybe one thing this week, one thing next week, or one thing a month or whatever. However, don't be afraid to ask your parents to donate. Say, you know, I want us to have a really good summer and these are some things. Do a wish list. Say I put some things in a cart on Amazon, you know, print it out, let them see what it is, or let them know what you want to get. Parents will donate. They want their children to have a good time too. So don't be afraid. If you can't afford it all, it's okay. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask, you know. You may want to ask some providers, you know, if they, you know, have any donations that they would like to give. If you're just getting started out in this and you don't have much, it's okay. It's okay. We all started somewhere. So don't be afraid to ask for assistance at all whatsoever, because as a daycare community, we should help one another. We really, really should. If you're blessed, then be a blessing to somebody else. Be a blessing to someone else. You guys know I always do. a healthy snack tip. So today's healthy snack tip is going to be a veggie quesadilla. How yummy does that sound? A veggie quesadilla. You take your vegetables, your onions, your bell peppers. You can do zucchini and squash, and you just slice them, like you kind of would do like a French fry. Saute them in a little bit of olive oil. Get your tortilla, your cheese, your grated cheese or whatnot. And once you've sauteed your vegetables, then of course, you put your tortilla in there and you add everything inside there with the cheese and flip it over, and there you go. When I say yummy, so yummy, you put you aside a little salsa for the children that may want the salsa. And then you will take your fruit, have your fruit cup right there, whatever it's going to be, strawberries, bananas, blueberries, kiwi, oranges, pears, whatever you're going to do, and put it in a nice little fruit cup. I like to use a little clear cup for the children so that they can see the fruit. So, and then it's not always touching the food. Some children, like me, I don't want my fruit touching my food. So I'll kind of put it in a little clear cup. I found some really cute ones at the 99-cent store yesterday in their little party section. Yes, 99-cent store. And then, of course, Smart & Final. Smart & Final has them. I couldn't think. Smart & Final has them too, or you can order them off Amazon. Just the little fruit cups. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but just something clear that is like where the children can see what's in there. Like, oh, okay. And just let them eat what they want to eat. If they want to eat it all, they can. If they don't, then they don't have to, However, it's just making it look so nice and so colorful to them and just presentable. Children like to see things that look nice too. I wouldn't want to eat something that's just thrown on a plate and be like, oh, here you go. No. There's a provider that's on Instagram, and she has the best, the prettiest meal presentations. Her name is Mrs. D. Frazier. If you are on IG, go follow her. She is amazing. Her facility is amazing. She inspires me so much every day. I love looking at her meal presentations. She takes her time. There's thought put into it. And let me tell you what else there is. A whole lot of love is put into what she does for her babies. You got to check her out and you'll know what I'm talking about. Presentation is everything. Everything. And she's amazing. She's amazing at it. I just love watching what she does. I'm at the end of this episode here. I just wanted to come on and just share a few little tidbits with you all. And I definitely want you to follow my podcast, subscribe to it, and just be the best you that you can be. Know that whatever you are doing, wherever you are in this business, there's always room for growth. And I remind myself of that every day. And don't be closed-minded to new ideas. And if you see something that you like, that someone else may be doing, know that it's okay to be encouraged, to be inspired by someone else. That's a beautiful thing, because you never know who you are encouraging, who you are inspiring. Don't be afraid to switch things up. Don't be afraid to take it easy. Don't be afraid to just enjoy the day with your children. Everything doesn't have to be so structured all the time. For those of us that have smaller children, you know what I'm talking about. Toddlers are hilarious. And then you have your, say, 4 and up children that are just really easy to deal with for the most part, because they don't require as much as the toddlers and the infants do. However, keeping them engaged is a little harder because they are older. And so they know what they want. They know what they like. Oh, and another thing. Ask your children, what would you like for me to have at the daycare for you? Ask them. Let them tell you. And see if it's something that you can do or are willing to do. But ask them. They have feelings. This will make our days go so much smoother. Find out what their interests are and make sure, if possible, that you can have it at daycare, or if mom or dad can donate it so that it's there, that you have it. Because they need to be happy too being in daycare. Sometimes when the children get a little older and they're like, I don't want to go to daycare. I don't want to go. I feel like I'm too big. There's babies there. But the wonderful thing about family daycare is that a lot of times we do have families that are here. We have the infant child, we have the toddler, and we have the scooters that we take to school and pick up, when we were doing that. And it makes it so much easier for the parent. However, we want all of our children to be happy that are in our care. So ask them, what would you like to do? What would you like for me to have here for you? Because at the end of the day, mom has to go to work and you have to come to daycare. So let's make the best of this, okay? I hope that you all have enjoyed this. I know I was a little all over the place, but that's just how it was today. It was just like that today. That's just how I was feeling. There's so many things running through my head because I know that as providers, we must support one another. And that's really, really important, is being able to be there for the provider that's around the corner or down the street or a mile away, and building a networking system within the communities that we live in, and making sure that our children in our community are getting what they need as providers, and being that support system for our parents. And we must show our parents appreciation as well. We must show them appreciation, even if it's just a word. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your village. Thank you for allowing me to care for your child. Thank you for choosing my daycare. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you for being a client that I never have an issue with. Thank you for understanding the rules and the regulations. Thank you for following my COVID policies. I appreciate you. And also remember, if you don't want to be a chronicle, don't do it.